Nicole Leger feared a man who lived 22 miles away.
He's gonna kill me. I fully believe he's gonna kill me.
A man on the loose with a criminal mind, a dark heart, and a violent temper.
Well,
Can you go pick him up?
Michael Adams, her ex-fiancé. Nicole and her son Trey worried Adams would track her down and kill her.
She looked at me and she said, you know, Trey, he's gonna find us and he's gonna kill me.
Their worst fears were about to come true.
I had gone to school that morning. Before I left, you know, I gave her the good old, you know, love you, see you when I get back, kiss on the forehead.
That would be the final kiss. When Trey came back home, the smell of death was in the air.
Everything seemed out of place. Something didn't seem right. I go over to her bedroom door and I knock on it, you know, wake up, I'm home, and you know, I didn't hear anything. So I peek under the door to see if I can see her, and I see her foot hanging off, and I think she's just asleep still, so I knock a little bit louder, you know, wake up, I'm here, and the door was locked, so I couldn't open it. So I go into the kitchen, and I grab a ballpoint pen and take it apart, and I use the ink cartridge to kind of pick the lock. So at this point, I'm decently scared, and I finally shoulder it open, and she's laying on the bed. She had her underwear down on one ankle. She had her shirt lifted up over her chest. She had been shot in the head.
No son should have to see that.
No. So I run out to the front, close the door, close the front door behind me, and call 911.
What's the address of your emergency?
My mom's dead. There's blood everywhere.
Nicole was shot twice in the face. She died instantly.
Why? Why did he have to take her away?
Nicole's friend Holly Wheeler was at work when she got the phone call that Nicole had been shot to death.
I started crying, bawling, and we were all kind of pretty close at the office. We were, you know, so it kind of hit us all pretty hard.
But was it Adams or someone else?
You knew who did it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was Mike.
But Adams claimed he had an alibi. These images from a surveillance camera show him shopping at Home Depot around the time of the murder. And at the crime scene, cops found 2 used condoms from 2 different men. So who killed Nicole? It took nearly 6 months for cops to finally find their killer, Mike Adams, and another 3 for an indictment on a capital murder charge.
What took so long?
It takes a while for all that evidence to be collected and tested, and ultimately his DNA was found on an item at the scene.
That item, one of those used condoms. But Adams' DNA wasn't on the inside, it was on the outside.
How did he leave the DNA?
Well, his DNA was found at the crime scene, and it was epithelial or skin cell DNA. It was on a condom that was close to the top of the garbage in the master bath. It could be that he was washing her blood off of his hands and he picked up that item and put it in the trash, not thinking that he would actually leave behind DNA that could be, you know, linked to him later.
Investigators believe Adams was so obsessed with cleanliness, he picked up the condoms and threw them in the bathroom trash. A move that got him arrested.
It was the furthest thing from his mind that he left DNA at the crime scene.
There was other damning evidence presented in the murder trial. At Adams' storage locker, cops found a virtual arsenal. Ballistics tests showed one of those guns fired the bullets that killed Nicole.
Describe to me what it was like seeing him in court.
Nerve-wracking.
How did you feel?
Terrified. I made eye contact with him briefly and never again.
Prosecutors said the motive was to prevent Nicole from testifying against him in the rape and kidnapping case. The first witness up was Detective Scott Greer, the man who sexted with Nicole while he was investigating her case. Adams' defense attorneys tried to poke holes in his testimony.
Were you afraid at that moment when his credibility was called into question that your case was in trouble?
No, there was so much other good corroborating evidence.
Evidence from the star witness, Nicole herself, a voice from the grave.
He's gonna kill me. I fully believe he's gonna kill me.
That was enough to convince the jury. After less than 2 hours, they returned with a verdict. Guilty of capital murder. The sentence, automatic life without the possibility of parole.
Why do you think Mike killed your mother?
He was rich and he was successful, and she was the first person that ever said no.
What do you want to see happen to Mike?
I've seen cases where prisoners will murder someone over that, kill them in their cell. I don't want that to happen to him. I want him to sit in prison for the rest of his life.
And now, this young man has to face the rest of his life without the mom who sacrificed everything, even her own life, for him.
Is there anything you do to honor your mom?
Spaghetti. Every year on her birthday, I always have just regular spaghetti with meat sauce and ground beef, just to kind of commemorate her.
When are the times that you miss her the most?
When I need advice.
You mean like when you need your mom?
Yeah.